Growing up in America, Eddie lived the American dream. He achieved it all before the age of 30. Money, cars, women. But beneath the surface, something didn't feel right. After achieving everything he ever desired, Eddie turned his back and walked away from it all and took his life in a whole new direction. Let us take you on his journey. Eddie was born in Buffalo, New York, to parents who had immigrated from Yugoslavia in the early 1970s. Soon after Eddie's birth, Eddie's father decided to move to Chicago in search of a better job.
My wife, she was working. I was working.
From his early years, Eddie always found himself in trouble.
I wasn't the oldest one of the bunch, but I was willing always to go a step further. I would sometimes go and defend those who I thought to be really my brothers and those who are close to me. I was the one to step up and make sure that nobody was going to mess with my brothers, my friends.
Society taught Eddie to hone a tough idea of manhood.
In elementary school, you would get in fights and you have one group of kids fighting the other group of kids. So now you pick up on this, and that's that like street mentality. As we learn, birds of a feather flock together. So I was going along with the bad company. I end up getting what they call violated in. They put you up, basically beat you up for about a couple minutes, and now afterwards you're in. You've taken the beating, and now you're part of that clique, that organization, that gang, street gang.
The false sense of independence brainwashed Eddie into living a rough and tough gang life.
Because the whole gang thing, the whole perception here is that this is now my family. And now I felt like I belonged to something. I belonged to this group. I belonged to what I thought now was my family, which I had my family at home who really cared about me, and they wanted what's best for me. Not with these people. They didn't care about me. Misery loves company. So I'm going through life, running away from home, and my mother, she was going out of her mind trying to find me, and she drove up one time into the school where we would hang out, and we're in this little courtyard, and she drives up. This is the only place where like the police would drive up, but she drove up in here, and we thought it was the police. So now I'm running from the police, I'm running from my parents, I'm running here, running there, I'm running everywhere, but mainly I'm running the wrong way.
Gang life took hold of Eddie and forced him to travel a negative and destructive path.
And I remember one time when I was in the cafeteria, and this gangbanger of the opposite gang, he came and he threw down my gang sign. So that was the wrong thing to do. And then this is something silly that you're ready to kill the person over some stupid hand gesture. So he does that, and I throw his down. He ends up pulling a knife. I end up pulling some mace. I spray him, and from there, all the different security guards came at the school. We get taken in to the disciplinary office, and I'm expelled. Finally, I started figuring out that these people didn't care about me. I said, I'm sitting in a jail cell, and where are they at? Nobody's coming to get me. They don't care about me. And am I going to end up with a mugshot like this? And am I going to end up tomorrow killing somebody? Because that's what it's heading to. I'm either going to get killed, or I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to end up in jail, destroying my life. I have a good family. It's not worth it.
Influenced by his father's work in the club industry, Eddie naturally began to seek out that path.
We worked for one of the largest promoters in Chicago. Eddie worked for him, and I worked for him as well. Eddie was one of the guys, one of the enforcers. He used to run around, basically just beat up people. That was really Eddie's nature and his essence. Eddie was also a ladies' man. Eddie brought in a lot of the ladies. At any given moment, he could have 7 to 8 women that are running around the club looking for him.
While all of this was happening, Eddie, who loved to fight, found a new form of release in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But Jiu-Jitsu wasn't enough to keep Eddie away from the cooler lifestyle.
Worldly side, someone looking in, you've got it made, but there's something missing inside. 1 minute happy because there's some pleasure that happens in my life. Maybe I make some money, maybe I hook up with a certain young lady. Really just, again, marking time, marking time. From the outside, people looking in and said, hey, this is the man. He's got the people who are flocking to be around him. They want to be on that guest list. You're living a dream, but at the end, when you go through this cycle again, it's more corruption. You're around people who are just cutthroat, dirty business people, liars, and I had learned better values from my family. I kept it always real. I said, if I do make $1 million, I'll be the same guy. I might have a bigger house, maybe a nicer car, but what then? And I started to look at some of the celebrities' lives, and I would go through talking to some of these people, and man, these people are more depressed than the average Joe.
Feeling lost, Eddie started searching for answers.
I started to read books. I was like a sponge. I just kept taking in. Everything I took in, it just required effort. It required sincerity.
People actually started talking behind his back. Look at him. He's starting to be a good guy.
Eddie's newly acquired knowledge allowed him to see life in a very different way.
Now, the transition didn't happen overnight. It's not like now you find the truth and all of a sudden you're just free from all the different vices that you've had. It was a constant struggle. I gave up drinking right away. I never smoked, but there was other vices that took time for me to get rid of out of my life. When I was in these places, it was funny that I was giving people dawah. I was talking about something, and it was different to be in these places and you see everybody's drunk. Everybody's out of their mind.
So he started less and less going to the club. He'll go to his parties but leave, like be there for an hour and leave. Sometimes he wouldn't even show up.
I didn't give up the prayer. I would hide somewhere to make it. If I couldn't make it in the club, I would walk out of the club and I would go and make it in the car. I did not give up that prayer. That was something that I feel it saved me. When you sign up for a membership at a health club or at jiu-jitsu or anywhere, there needs to be some effort. You get excited and now you say, okay, this is what I need in my life. I need to lose weight. And now you get in there and you sign up, but after 2-3 classes, you're just lazy. I mean, you just don't want to continue forward, and now you only hinder yourself. Now you're not going to accomplish that great feeling of feeling good, looking good, being healthy. It's going to require some work. It's the same thing here. It's the same thing with this way of life that the Creator has laid down for all of us to live. It's a way to develop yourself to be a better human being. So you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to be disciplined. There's some things that you might have to give up. But if you are sincere and you earnestly want it, you're going to see that these things weren't even good for me in the first place.
Muslim, I came from the streets to Islam, the ghetto. Now when you see your brother, give a palm, embrace with a hug and greet me with salam, salamu alaikum. I'm a Muslim, I came from the streets to Islam, the ghetto. Now when you see your brother, give a palm, embrace with a hug and greet with salam, salamu alaikum.
Going to a high school to talk to some faculty there and to some students. I'm still waiting for a gift. Everyone is saying no.
I get very excited to talk to the non-Muslims, our brothers in humanity.
Thank you for coming. Kevin.
Nice to meet you.
Are you in the city?
I do live in the city.
Yeah. Here's my Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. Welcome to the Deen Show, which is a way of life we try to put out there for everyone to see, helping you understand Islam and Muslims.
When he started the Deen Show, it was just an idea.
You know, since 2006 we started, and now we're on the local cable station in Chicago. We're also on another station that reaches Canada and the US, and working to have it in UK on some satellite stations there.
How do you choose your guests?
Allah chooses the guests. I just pick them up, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.